And we are back. Welcome back to Trinity Tens with Fredrina, Freddie the Trinity Pro. I again want to say thank you so much to everybody for your support. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Thank you so much for your views and your comments. I really appreciate everyone. So today we're going to dive right back into where we were talking about company culture. I know I left off on how you want to support individuals, but also create a company culture where cohesion is just as necessary. So, today we're going to continue on that a bit. I know that with company culture, innovation can sometimes hit little roadblocks. Even if it's not a full-on roadblock, it can just be what we call a gridlock or that bottleneck, right? Where all of this great innovation is pushing from the back, but we reach this part where we need someone to co-sign on it before it can fully flourish and go out fully. So I just want to speak on that a bit. I don't want your company culture to be non-focused on innovation or reluctant to innovation. I know it's not going to happen overnight. Let me tell you about that. Like point blank, it is not going to happen overnight, regardless of what company you have, regardless of who you have working for you, regardless of all the great talent you have in there, regardless of all the great ideas that are being generated. It is not going to happen overnight. This is where business strategy and strategy in general comes into play, because you're going to take that what and you're going to generate a how to get there. That's another plug for me, the business strategist, Fredrina, Freddie the Trinity Pro. But that's just a general synopsis of that part. But getting back to company culture, you want to make sure that your reluctance doesn't put people in a place where they no longer want to bring ideas to innovate. That is not okay to do, because what you'll do is begin to stifle your company, and you guys will continue to generate the same process, the same product, the same service. You'll just become a creature of habit, which isn't always good, especially for sustainability for the future and growth in general. So when you are apprehensive, it's imperative to back it up with some sort of either procedure, or to back it up with a budget for the year, or to even generate a time where any innovative ideas or any teamwork, any group think that has been generated has a certain timeline that they get their idea out, so that you have the budget in place, or you have whatever open-mindedness in place to really receive their idea, and then you decide from there. So don't be so apprehensive that people are afraid to even present their idea. That's not good for your company. Dealing with the caveat of things not changing overnight. Don't ever let that be an excuse. Business 101. Do not let that be an excuse. Sometimes things need to change abruptly. They do. It just is what it is. It's a part of business. It's a part of business pivoting. You're going to have to, stand on one foot and switch to the other really quick because of what's going on in the industry. A lot of times your competitors are at an advantage because they have a solidified infrastructure, which is what we talked about last week, to where they can support swift changes. Nothing really changes as far as procedure is concerned. Nothing really changes as far as who's in what position or what their functionality is. They just may be doing it a different way, but they've had a procedure set in place, so that all they're doing is tweaking instead of creating. Creating takes more time. So during that apprehensive phase and giving your employees a reason why things can't happen right now, or giving them a reason why things are going to take time, is better. And it provides them with more critical thinking. Your company culture will be full of people who know how to get past a no, which is also beneficial when you want to expand. So dealing with that, a culture who embraces change is going to be the best company culture you can create. One that's innovative, one that embraces change, and one that understands procedure. Those three things are crucial. So when you have a culture where they know how to overcome no's, and then you collaborate that ability to overcome no's and employ critical thinking, and then you have them with their innovative, they understand procedure, and they embrace change, your company can be unstoppable. Your culture has to be, and I don't know how to make this any better than how it sounds. Your company has to be a place where people are free to feel, yet perform their function. Fair? Okay. They are free to feel, yet still perform their function. Knowing the procedure is crucial to any company, which is why I focus on infrastructure so hard. The flow of your company is going to be conducive to expansion. If you cannot handle your 80 customers you have right now, how are you going to handle 180? If your company culture is not conducive to innovation and expansion, how are you going to get from 80 to 180? If your company culture does not sustain change well or does not embrace change well, how are you going to get from 80 to 180 customers? You're not. Everything has to be conducive to growth. But in being conducive to growth, you cannot be hyper focused on growth. You cannot scale too quickly. You cannot have it become a company culture of just stress and numbers focused. It's all about stress. It's all about numbers. We got to get more customers. Once we get these customers in, we got to turn them. We got to have add-ons. We got to have them order at least a minimum of 5 products. And all this stress, all this pressure will then be placed on the customer. And I don't want to feel like I'm being upsold by a slimy salesman all the time. I want to feel like when I come to you, like I said last week, you've listened to what I need, and then based on what I need, you fulfill my order or you fulfill that service from my needs, right? So that critical thinking piece and overcoming a no will really get your company to the next level. A lot of people will be apprehensive, like I talked about, the apprehension from employing new strategy. A lot of people will be apprehensive to do an add-on, and it's all going to be based on how they feel about your company. And then on top of how they feel about your company, it's going to be about your company's reputation. And your reputation is only important when it's important to your culture. How do your people who work for you feel about your company, and how do they feel about being with you long term? And then when they want to be with you long term, or they enjoy being with you long term, you have people who also care about your reputation, right? We're on feelings, we're on caring, we're on going above and beyond. All of these things that most businesses don't really focus on, but that is company culture. It's feelings. It is how an individual comes in every day, how they feel about you supporting them, how they feel about the service they provide, right? Can they buy into it as a consumer? And if they can, then they can also push that same feeling out to the customer prior to making a sale, or even go over it in their leads generation as well. So company culture is something that's definitely going to be focused on a lot more in the near future, due to the fact that we're in an employees market. It used to be employers. People used to work for companies 30 and 40 years. Nobody's doing that anymore. I think some of the newest numbers are looking like your company's good if someone stays there 5 to 7 years. It's just the way of the world. People have options. New companies are popping up every day. And ones who are focused on a certain type of person, the employee is, who they are as a person and how they feel, they're going to win the ticket. They're going to win that employee. They're going to win a possible long-term employee, or someone who buys into their company culture and what their company stands for, over someone who's either still learning or still in the dark ages, as far as keeping feelings out of the corporation, keeping feelings out of everything. Come in, do your job, focus, function, do the same thing for 30 years. And then once you retire, you're all burnt out and you have no feelings as an older person as well. So just focus on the feelings of your employees. I can't say it any other way. The feelings, how they feel. What does it feel like when they walk into work? How are they received by upper management? How are they perceived by upper management? Are they coming in and they're just a robot to perform a function? Or how their morning is going really matters. How their kids are doing really matters. The person they sit next to, not only do they like them, but do they feel like they are a part of the team and are a part of making the company better and long-term standing for everyone involved, for everyone to keep their job, for everyone to feel like they're a part of the company, for everyone to feel like they're doing something for the next generation and to keep them sustained long-term. Do they want to refer an open position to someone? Do they want someone to even know that they work here, or the way that the work is being done and the way they're supported and the way they're sent to innovate, or the way that their functionality and goes along with the rest of the company. Do they feel like that's something that they would be willing to tell someone about to fill an open position? If your company doesn't have people who want to do that, you're not doing it right. Whether you're a large company, whether you're just starting as a small business owner, your reputation matters. Can people stay there long term? How much money are you constantly spending on getting new employees to the point where people don't even feel like they can connect with each other? They don't feel like they can connect towards one goal because it's always someone new every week. How are you really portraying your company, not only to the people you seek to have as employees, but to your current ones? Again, we are in an employee market. Your company culture is what's going to be able to keep people there. They can always go find more money somewhere else. That's just going to be it. It's not always about the compensation, but how do they feel when they walk into your company? This is crucial, especially if you're building your company now as a small business. Really hone in on Tuesday's video and today's video. Think about how you want your company to be received and how you want your employees feel to do their best job, perform their absolute best, and feel like they can grow with you long term. Again, that got a little heavy there, but it's serious. Again, this is Fredrina with Trinity Professional Group. You guys, please go back and look at all those videos. I promise I poured my heart into it, my mental into it, and I really want to see companies succeed and people have viable employment. So again, if you ever need anything or you ever want to read up on me, go to trinityprofessionalgroup.com, and I'm always here to answer any questions. You guys have a good one.